So in less than 1 week, Palworld has taken the world of video games by storm. It has sold more than 8 million copies in Steam in under 6 days. It has currently surpassed the active player numbers of Fortnite on Xbox in the United States. It has become the second ever Steam game to hit 2 million concurrent players. So it's a real phenomenon. And while I played it a few hours on stream and it wasn't really for me, it seems like people are really loving it. However, the game's success seems to be slightly overshadowed by this huge question mark. That is whether Nintendo might sue them and to what extent Palworld is a direct rip-off of the Pokemon universe. So in this video, we're going to read out first of all the statement that the Pokemon company released today regarding Palworld, and then we're going to look at some of the designs of the pals in Palworld and put them right next to the Pokemon that they are clearly inspired by. And hopefully that should give us a little bit of an idea to what extent there might be a legal leverage. Now, I'm not a legal person, okay, like take all this with a pinch of salt. I will not be able to say, oh yeah, there's definitely a legal case here that Nintendo will win or vice versa. They stand no chance to sue them. We'll see, we'll discuss all this. But first of all, let's read the statement that the Pokemon company released today regarding Palworld. And they said, "We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. What game could that be? We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. Yours truly, the Pokemon Company." Now, the first thing that came to my mind when I read this was like, well, they didn't sue them, right? Surely the answer, if they would have the intention and there would be a clear legal case here to sue them, then that's what they have done. Like there wouldn't be any news of here's a little statement of us saying, well, we are investigating the appropriate measures. It's like, no, they would have just said we're suing them and the lawsuit is now on its way and then we'll take it from there. But on the other hand, I have to say, like Palworld would have had such an easy way out of this, right? By simply making a few design choices that clearly differentiated from the Pokemon universe. And I'm not talking about the pals themselves. Like, for example, why does it have to be a ball that you throw on the pals and then it flies up and sucks the pal into it? That's clearly inspired by the world of Pokemon. Can it not be a ring that sucks the pal in or something like this? You know what I mean? It would have been an easy design choice. Do it slightly different. The game is basically the same, but it's clearly stepping away from infringing on Pokemon's copyright. Anyway, they didn't make that decision, so let's look at some of these pals next to their Pokemon that they are inspired from, I guess. And you guys, please let me know in the comments what you think. Do you feel these pals are potentially infringing on copyright? Do you think there's a legal case here? Leave any of your thoughts down in the comments. So what we see quite often is that they take, for example, facial features and almost copy them one-to-one. Now, this is maybe a little bit more reminiscent of some kind of cat, while this looks more, I don't know, like an owl or something, but there is clearly the same face. Now, in these specific cases, again, I'm not a legal person, but it feels like they might get away with it, because Nintendo, I don't think, has like a right or a copyright on this specific facial feature. Do you know what I mean? They can't say, oh, these two eyes and that mouth is copyrighted. But then there are other cases, like this one. And I see that, like, okay, this one has wings, and this one has, like, some kind of armor, and this one has, like, a white belly armor, and this is black. But come on, bro. That is very, very similar. You can really see that the guy who designed this PAL was looking at this while he or she was designing it. I don't think I need to say anything about this, bro. I mean, the ears are slightly higher, the eyes are maybe slightly different. You need to remove these little ponytails, but then you have an identity. Like, just the idea to say we have a creature that is inspired by a sheep and it's a ball. Don't know, man. Like, why did they do this? I mean, I gotta give them this. They have balls of steel. Putting out a game that has all these creatures in it that are so close to these original Pokemon designs, I don't know, man. Maybe they just have like a great legal department that kind of signed off each single creature and they're like, yeah, no, this, you know, we remove the ponytails. It's different enough. But bro, I mean, some of these are wildly close. I mean, just look at these two. I mean, dude, that's the same creature. And what about this one? Cobra Lion. I don't know the names of all these Pokemon or whatnot, but that's the same thing. Again, The artist who designed this clearly had this creature next to them. Like the color scheme, all of it is the same. The color of the horns, the color of the body, even down to the details on the feet. It just really feels like all this stuff is a clear provocation. And it makes you wonder whether Nintendo is gonna accept that level of provocation. Now here is Biofrog. Oh, by the way, this was all put together by Cecilia Fay. I'll link her Twitter thread with all these comparisons because I think she literally compared every single pal to the reference Pokemon. I'll link it down in the description so you can go check it out yourself if you want to dive into it more. But there's also Biofrog, who took the 3D models of some of the pals and some of the cooperating Pokemons and put them on top of each other. And I mean, check this out. Look at it. It's wild, dude. It really feels like the differences are so marginal that it's gonna be hard to justify and to defend in court. You know what I mean? And here's another example. The feeling when you and your cousin have exactly the same proportions. Look at it. Even down to the shape of the hair above his head and the whole body shape. It's wild. Oh, this is another one. I mean, dude. The color scheme, the shape, the claws. How can they sign this off? How can they look at this design and be like, yep, that's what we're going to use in our game? And a lot of people in the replies are like, well, Pokemon did not invent deer. Okay, you can still design a deer. But is that really... I mean, I'm sure that the Pokemon company has like a copyright on all these Pokemon and on the design of each single one of them. So it's not that easy. I feel that a lot of these replies are just guided by people being really excited to play Palworld right now. They love the game, so they don't want Pokemon, who has admittedly delivered like more weaker releases in recent years. And they don't want them to take the game down, right? So it's not inspired by like legal knowledge. It's more like, I like Palworld, so it shouldn't be questioned. Bro, this is wild. It's gotta be AI. Right? It has this kind of, it feels like it. Like if you give an AI all these Pokemons and you put it in there and say, do the same, but slightly different, it feels like that's what you would get. AI would generate you these kinds of like wish versions of the Pokemon, right? The slightly cheaper looking ones. You're like, holy moly, bro. It's not how it works. It's not that nature has a copyright on the shape of a deer, but Nintendo does hold a copyright, presumably, on that shape. They're scared that Palworld is getting more successful. And yeah, there's some point to that. You know, certainly that's the reason why they released this statement and actually addressed the game without naming it. Because it's really taken the limelight from Nintendo and from the Pokemon company, who again hasn't released great games in recent years. And there's a certain tone of bitterness to that, where they're like, well, we're gonna take the measures, and we're actually quite jealous and envious that they are so successful. Why didn't we come up with this? Rest in peace, Palworld soon. That is the question. Now look, I'm not a legal person. I can't make a statement to say, well, there's clearly a legal case here or not. So I need you guys to comment down in the comment section what you think. Do you think this is enough for Nintendo and the Pokemon company to sue and potentially take down pocketpair Incorporated, which is the company behind Palworld? Or do you think there's no case here? It is so different that, legally speaking, they probably wouldn't get away with suing them. Leave all your thoughts down in the comment section below. My personal feeling is, based on the Pokemon company just releasing a statement and not actually putting forward a lawsuit, that they are investigating, but they find it challenging. Because while it's similar, it is not the same. But again, what do I know? Anyway, these are my thoughts, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. Leave all your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, then smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Also, we have a Discord server. You can join it. It's free. The link is in the description. I'm hanging out there. Loads of other people are there. That's why I announce my live streams, right? You missed my Palworld live stream where I got very upset that I don't like the game. So you could have watched that. Join the Discord. I would love to meet you there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.